All right, here we're going to take a look at Paxton's his eval. We have his running and his soccer eval. Here you'll see him running full speed though. We'll start with that first, followed by half speed. And as we go through this, and again, this is 10% right here, but as we go through this, he's actually made some changes already with Sebastian's been working with him, but in a few things he's actually overcorrected, and we're going to look at the first thing. So the arm should stay in an L shape, which he's definitely trying to do, and I can tell by the way he's running that he's remembering that and trying to mimic that motion, but he's actually overcorrecting and closing down his arm into a V, and you can see how it's tucked in back behind his ear. It should be out more in front of his face. So we want to kind of get him to stop overcorrecting on that. Also, if you'll see right at launch, he's opening his chest up. Now we should be able to see the fast logo directly facing the screen, and he's actually opening up upon takeoff. So we want to get him to square that body up, and that'll make him quicker as well. Looking here, you'll notice again, because he is extremely tight and again shutting down that V, it's because he's so stiff and tight in his upper body. It's causing his arms to get disconnected from his body, and it's also causing that V close down. So we want to get him just to relax more, relax his face, relax his shoulders, relax his upper body, and that'll help get his body in a more natural running position, and he won't have to try so hard if he does that. So that's the second thing we kind of want to look at. We're going to push the video forward a little bit more here, and we're going to stop it here. And again, you can see how he's twisting on his torso. If you watch that fast logo as he runs, you'll see it shift from left to right as he steps from left foot to right foot. So we need to get him to quiet down the upper body, and I think a lot of that is just due to too much tension in the upper body, like I said on the previous frame. So get him to relax. He also has an in to out motion with his knee. You can see here how he brings his knee in and then up and out. We need to get him to bring it straight up and then straight back, straight down and straight back, instead of inside of his body and then going around. That's a slow move. So I want to kind of stop him from doing that right there. Looking at his lower body here, you'll notice here how he's striking directly on his heels. That is a very slow move right there. We need to get him to reach up, out, and then flip that foot over and strike on the ball of his feet, and that's going to help his speed tremendously. So just getting him to impact and strike on the right part of the foot and push through is going to help him have a much better kick and help propel him even faster. So those are the things that we want to look at and kind of work on as we go forward with his training with Sebastian, and we'll implement some things that'll help him just with that. His vertical leap here, Paxton scored a 14. It's a good score. We definitely want to take a look at the vertical and the standing broad jump as those two scores directly affect the 10-yard time. And the 10-yard time is really what we're looking at, because we want speed and quickness out of him to be able to get in front of, be a good defender, be quick, and then also to be able to make moves and separate from the defender to get shots or passes or whatever. Broad jump here, he did well in this as well, but again, we want to push this as far as we can, and also the vertical, so we can increase that explosive power that he has. So, but all in all, considering his leg injury and everything he's kind of been through the last 6 months, I think he's done very well, and I have no doubt that with his training here that he'll really exceed our expectations going forward. Next, we're going to take a look at his lateral speed. He's actually able to score 13 reps. He didn't do it quite the way it should be done, and kind of cheated a little bit, which would have probably given him about 12 reps. We just need to get him to work his hips a little better and cleaner. The next thing we're going to look at is his soccer skills, and here we're going to see him. This is his striking. I believe he scored 35 miles an hour, but what we want to look at here is that he needs to point his toe down more, and with his toe being down more, he'll be able to have more control over the ball to place it in the goal in the spots that he wants to place it in, and he'll also be able to strike with more power if he can get that toe down just a little bit more. The next portion is, as he's coming through, you'll see his follow through. His toe is too high during his follow through, and what that's going to do is it's going to cause his shots to drift wide or actually go excessively too high. So those are two things with his striking motion that we want to kind of look at and work on going forward. Next thing we'll see here is his passing. This is a pass in the air, and we're going to stop it here, and you'll see here how his foot is turned too far inward, and that causes the ball to veer off line, which obviously is not good. We want to get all our passes spot on target. So we need to keep his foot more horizontal here. You'll see how as it progresses how he pulls it to the left and actually hits the wall. Also, his chest is too far forward and bent over, and that actually kind of compresses and pushes the ball down. If he can, the chest actually controls the height of the ball, So we want to get him to lean back more with that, so he can drive that ball, higher and get it to his teammate. And again, follow through. Follow through is important. You see how he crosses his legs over here, and again, that causes more of a pull motion, and that's why it's so. He's standing maybe 10-15 yards from Sebastian, but he pulls that ball offline, maybe 6 yards. So if we can get him to drive forward with that, it's going to be more accurate. And it's almost the same thing here too. This is his pass on the ground. His pass on the ground was also, toe was too far forward. It should stay horizontal. And then you'll see here that also causes inaccuracies in his passing. Same thing with his follow through here. Not crossing the foot over, but actually driving straight through is going to help him be more accurate with his passing. The last thing we're going to look at is his scores. And with the scores here, we've got his soccer scores as well as his speed, strength scores, his balance, and all that. So we'll start at the top here, and you'll see push-ups 11 reps. We definitely want to work on his upper body strength and his shoulder strength for boxing out and making sure he doesn't get pushed off the ball. Core work, we need to work on that a lot. His lower back, his abs weren't too bad, but his lower back was a little weak. Again, standing, broad jump, and vertical, want those to be as high as they can be, but the main spots we're looking at is these 10 and 20 yard times. We want him to be explosive, a very quick athlete on the soccer field, so we want to see those 10 yard times and 20 yard times drop substantially over the next 6 months. His kick speed, we're registered at 35 miles an hour. That's ball exit speed, and we'll be able to kind of track that as we strengthen his legs and help him strike the ball cleaner, that it goes up. And also his zigzag speed, which is a soccer drill that we do to show lateral and linear speed, and was 10 seconds.